Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the TikTok. I forgot going live on TikTok. Actually, let me try to set this up now. Going live on TikTok. Look at me not being prepared. Look, once you turn on TikTok, something comes on. Anyway, how is everyone? And I am saving this Um, I actually have a question and welcome everyone who is joining us. I am about to do the weekly astrology and I'm actually connecting my live on, um, yes, here we go. My live on TikTok. Hold on one second. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that was easy. TikTok's easy. TikTok's not that stressful. Anyway, okay. So, yes, welcome everyone. If you are here live, we are going to, first of all, let me reset. Okay. Welcome, all my astrological lovers. I am Danyell Carmelita. I am your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. And this week we are going to discuss the universe because it's stirring up some powerful energy. We have a full moon in Capricorn this week. We also have the sun entering the nurturing sign Cancer. So, happy solar return to all my Cancer babies who have the sun sign in Cancer. That's what that basically means. And then we also have Mercury gliding into Cancer. So we're going to have some empathetic, intuitive insights, okay? So we're going to talk about all that we have going on this week, astrological. I'm also going to discuss some horoscopes. So if you want to get really detailed and want to know what you have personally for the future, that's going to be discussed. This is also going to be saved. So if you are like, this video is too long, I cannot stay, or if you're like this episode, because we are also via podcast, so you can listen to me while you're driving, while you're cleaning your house. I am on Spotify, Amazon, wherever you hear your podcasts. I'm on there. Apple, yes, I'm on it all. What else am I going to say? Yes, yeah, horoscopes and tarot for each sign. So if you want to go in detail with yourself, then we got it all. We got the career, we got the relationships, we got personal growth, spirituality. I got you covered. So let's dive into the magical cosmos together and see what the stars have in line for you this week. Now, first, I want to say I have a membership. And I know this is a common thing, these memberships, like, why would someone join a membership when I can just watch you on YouTube or I can just listen to your podcast? Well, it is exclusive content. And I know some people are like, you can get exclusive content just about anywhere. At least that's how I personally. But this is really for you because I am really gifted at what I do, naturally gifted, okay? I could talk about my placements, but that gets a little too advanced for some people. But I'm just going to say this is what I am here to do. I am a healer, and I am very intuitive, and I'm just okay. I'm just good at what I do. So I want to bless you guys with my natural talents and gifts, and I want to have it at an affordable price. I am very aware of the economy, and not everyone can afford a reading. So this way, if you have a membership, it's $4.99 a month, then you can get your reading. You can ask a personal question once a month. So if you want to ask a question about your astrology, if you have a question about your tarot, you can get it through the membership. The link is in the bio. No matter where you're listening to this or hearing this, the link is in a bio. Also, if you are here with us live, if I have time, if you ask a question, go ahead and put it in the comments and I will answer your question for you. Okay. I will do a tarot pull or maybe an astro. If we can do the astrology, I'm not pulling up your chart because I won't have time, then I can do that as well. Okay. Now, what else do I want to say? Oh, of course, we have to do our due diligence. Everyone like, comment, subscribe, do your free paying, okay? As a listener, if you are listening to this via podcast, download the podcast. That helps me out. If there is a way that you can rate the podcast, that helps me out too. But just please, that helps me, and it's a way of paying me if you want to give a donation. Okay, I'm not asking for anyone to pay me, but that is a way you could do a donation. If you want to know more, just not this week, and you want to know, we are closing out the week basically, but if you want to know about June, I did all a video on, and I have an episode on the June transits. So go ahead and check that out. And the podcast that I have where you can listen to it and not watch it is called Astro Tarot Insights. Okay. So that's what we have. Also, if you want to join the membership, click the link in the bio. Oh, also with the membership, you get a discount. Okay, you get discount to everything I have. Discount to my tarot school. Discount to an astrology reading, full astrology report. You get it all. Okay, so go ahead and do that. I have the Mercury retrograde survival kit. I have Jupiter's luck in Gemini, how to harness that energy. There's a video on that on there. What else? I have surviving eclipse. All that. It's very detailed. Yes or no questions are answered on there too. So okay, so that's what I have to say. I want to talk about the current energy because I don't really talk about that in all of my videos, and I want you to know what is currently happening in the sky. Okay. Currently, we have Jupiter in the sign Gemini. It stays in the sign Gemini, and it just got into the sign. It stays for a year. I want you to understand it stays for a year. So I've already discussed this. I have a video on it, or I have an episode on this already. But I just want to remind you that currently we're going to have big discussions about communication. And how do you have a discussion about communication when Jupiter is in the sign Gemini? All the broadcasters, like Candace Owens, who's the guy who's on CNN and he's gay, he's black, whatever. I'm just trying to think of all the newscasters, and they don't have to be black because I said Candace Owens. But speaking of black, there was another newscaster who just got fired off of another platform. I just want you to understand that broadcasters, journalists, news reporters, they are going to be big. If they're not already, Jupiter hitting Gemini, we're going to get a lot about newscasters and people who report the news, people who are very talkative. You're going to get a lot of stories about them. Just so you know, that's what we have currently. Also, Elon Musk, I remember he discussed education because Jupiter and Gemini, one of the things, there's many things that Jupiter and Gemini represents, but one of them is that early education. And Elon Musk discussed how early education is going to change with the development of AI. Speaking of AI, that makes me think of Pluto in the sign Aquarius currently, and it's retrograding. When it retrogrades, I personally believe that it's bigger, and there are some lessons because that's why it's bigger. There are some lessons. Now, Pluto is currently in the sign Aquarius. It entered January 20th this year, and it's going to stay until September 1st, and then it's going to retrograde back into Capricorn, but it's going to be in Pluto. Pluto is going to be in Aquarius all the way until 2043. So we have some time with this energy in Pluto and Aquarius, but Pluto in Aquarius, speaking of AI, okay, we have AI is going to be bigger than ever because we have Pluto, the planet of transformation and change, in the sign Aquarius. Aquarius is all about the future and technology advancement. Okay. Aquarius is also an air sign. So that's why we have all those airplanes. And when it's retrograding, my personal opinion is I would not fly. Pluto is currently retrograding, but you are going to get the dirty and the messiness of airplanes because Aquarius represents the air flight and technology with air flight and navigation. Cybersecurity, huge with Pluto and Aquarius. You have digital platforms. They're going to be more dominant. There's going to be more control with social media, because that's Pluto and Aquarius. And Pluto represents power, and Aquarius represents the social technology. And there's going to be more dominance with that, especially with Jupiter and Gemini. They're both air signs. So you're going to get a lot of social media aspects bigger this year, but it's going to be huge all the way until 2043. How old would I be? 2043. But yes, huge technology. The TikTok ban, that is going to happen because that makes sense with Pluto and the sign Aquarius. Privacy, also you get a lot of social reforms, a lot of protesting, huge, and will continue to be huge. Okay, so that's going to be the new normal all the way into 2043. However, we do have this retrograde happening. Oh, also with Jupiter and Gemini, you have debates. debates are going to be big. Okay. And you see, we have this great debate happening in America. If you're watching us in America, you have this debate, and it's going to happen with Biden. It makes sense. And there's some rules and restrictions with that, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, I actually am going to do a chart reading on that debate, and see what will happen, what will be the results of that. Even though I don't think you can see who's going to win from the debate, but we can see what happens. Anyway, but privacy on social media, airplanes, protests, collective empowerment, traditional power structures will be changed with Pluto in the sign Aquarius. Also, I want to remind you, if you are new here, that Pluto in the sign Aquarius is also, Pluto is such a powerful planet. It's so tiny, but it's so powerful. It also affects the opposite sign that Pluto is in. So like when Pluto's in the sign Capricorn, we have to stay home, which is the sign of Cancer. Okay. And Capricorn represents the structure and government, and the government making us stay home. So you have that with Pluto in the sign Capricorn. Now, Pluto in the sign Aquarius is going to affect that opposite sign, which is Leo. And what does Leo represent? It represents the celebrities. So you got the dirty and the nasty, and what is hidden, even sexuality with celebrities. Leo also represents anyone who's on stage. It represents children and royalty. So we're going to get some bigger stories about royalty, and maybe the royal empire in the UK will be ending. Let's see. There'll be a big transformation with that. Also gold. It represents gold. So let's see the value of gold and how that happens. That would be more of a Taurus thing, but it is definitely representing gold. So just so you guys know, that is what we have currently. Oh, I didn't talk about Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces. They're both in the same zodiac sign. However, Neptune will stay in the sign Pisces all the way until 2026, and Saturn will stay in the sign Pisces May 24th, 2025. Okay, so because they're both in the same zodiac sign, you kind of get a little confused on what means what. Pisces represent things you cannot see. It also represents a fog. There's also a sense of romance and oneness with the sign Pisces. So Neptune in Pisces, which Pisces, Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So it's strong. It's really, the Pisces energy is very strong. So if you're getting the conspiracy theories, if you're like, I don't know what to believe, I don't know who to believe, that is Neptune in Pisces. Okay. This sense of spirituality and getting stronger in your belief and getting stronger with God, that's Neptune in Pisces that we are currently living in. There's deception, there's illusion, conspiracy theories, are aliens coming to this planet? That is all Neptune in Pisces. Even like I've heard stories of like there's aliens in the ocean. Neptune, Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. It represents the ocean. All makes sense. Neptune and Pisces is also about letting go because it's the end of the zodiac. So there is an ending of something. If you feel like the world is going to end, that is Neptune and Pisces. But if there's some huge ending in your world, in your environment, that is Neptune and Pisces. Okay. Also, okay, so Saturn in Pisces. And let me know if you like this reflection of what's currently going on in the sky, because I know I do the weekly transits, but Saturn in Pisces Saturn is the discipline. Okay. Saturn is the planet of limits and is going to restrict. In a sign Pisces, you cannot see things. It's very foggy and there's illusions. So now we are being restricted with illusions being involved. So it makes me think of the borders, right? Currently, thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Currently, the borders with the Saturn and Pisces are not there. They're not there. There is no borders. And this is not just happening in America. This is happening around the world, ending in the dissolvement of borders around the world. That is Saturn and Pisces. This is going to end on the 2025 and 2025. Now, when it leaves Pisces, it's going to go in Aries. And I am not here to cause any fear, but I want you to be aware that Aries is the energy of war. Okay, so when there's some endings, there's also new beginnings, because Aries represents new beginnings. So look forward to some fights, because Aries is here to fight. Okay, and wherever you are, this is the feeling that's going to happen with the Saturn and Aries. So governments fighting each other, wars. You think that Israel and Hamas and the genocides, and also the genocides is Neptune and Pisces, because there's more genocides happening than just what you are being televised. It's very big, and whenever we have Pisces involved, it does represent endings on all levels. Okay, and that could mean spiritual endings of the body. Okay, I'm trying to not say death and rebirth, but death. Okay, but yes, so that's what we have. But Saturn and Pisces is going to be an energy of being controlled in the dark. increase intention into mental health and spiritual discipline as well. So people who are becoming more spiritual and being very serious about their spirituality, that is the Saturn in Pisces. You have people becoming more religious and really sticking and having a structure and yes, more of a structure with their religion and their belief, and that is Saturn and Pisces. So we have two planets in Pisces, so people are being more spiritual, so they're getting their crystals, they're doing their tarot reading. At the same time, on the other end, you have the Saturn in Pisces, so people are being more religious, they're going to church, they're going to the mosque, or they're being Catholic, and they're really going back to the tradition of their spirituality. Okay, so that is what we currently have. And I forgot one more planet, Uranus in a sign Taurus. Now, Uranus is going to leave Taurus in 2025. So we have two big energies leaving in 2025. So a big change of what we are getting used to, even though it's always, I feel like constantly there is change. There's always going to be news to report when it comes to astrology, just so you know. But okay, so when we have Uranus and Taurus, when you had that fake meat, I don't know if you guys heard about that, but now people can create meat. Scientists can create meat. Taurus represents what we value, our resources. So you had a sense of people really hoarding food. That's Uranus and Taurus. You have people doing they're saving it for the long run. What is that called? Prep kit preppers, I think they're called. That's Uranus and Taurus. Okay. You had issues with the farmland. That's Uranus and Taurus. Okay. People having issues with farm. Stocks, that is Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is the planet of unexpected changes and unexpected surprises, so good and bad. So you have this big change that could be happening with the finances, that's currently happening with the finances. Taurus represents stocks. If you ever look in New York, there is a big bull in front of the stock exchange. The bull is the Taurus, right? So Taurus is it's not made up. It's all, God is such an amazing energy. God is such an amazing, I'm going to say person, but he's not a person, so I don't know what to call God. But he creates it all, and it all makes sense, and it's not by circumstance, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so the economy, big disruption. You see that there is a huge change in the economy and people not having money. That is Uranus and Taurus, right? And then that Pisces energy is ending this structure. So there will be a change when it comes to finances. Redefining what we value. That is Uranus and Taurus. Some people are more interested in honing down their resources and their economy, breaking free from traditions and any traditions. That is Uranus and Taurus. Adding AI to now what you value, adding technology to what now you value. If you are doing that, if you are taking this company and now adding more technology or things for the future and what you value, that is Uranus and Taurus. Okay, so like if you are working and now using ChatGPT, or if you are doing art and getting some inspiration from some type of AI, even when a robot comes with the Tesla, Uranus and Taurus. I predict that Tesla robot is going to come out before Uranus and Taurus comes before it ends, before 2025. So get ready for that. But food and science, future and work, disruption in real estate too, because Taurus can represent real estate. Okay. So I just wanted you guys to have an update of currently what you have going on. Here are the transits. I can't show everyone, but I'm showing if you are watching on YouTube and Instagram. But these are the current transits that we have here, and I'll go over each transit. But yes, I just wanted you to know currently what's in the sky, and now we are going to talk about what's happening weekly, and then I'll go over the horoscopes. But June 17th, Mercury is going to square Neptune. I know June 17th was yesterday. Today's the 18th, but I want to tell you this. Mercury entered Cancer yesterday. Mercury conjunct Venus yesterday. We'll talk about that. And on the 19th, the moon will enter Sagittarius. That's about our emotions. I'll get into that. June 20th, the sun is going to square Neptune. Then it will be Cancer season. So again, happy solar return to all my Cancers. On the 21st, Mercury is going to sextile Mars. That's positive. And then at the same time, we have that full moon in Capricorn on the 21st. On the 22nd, we have a Mercury that's going to square the nodes. And on the 23rd, we have the moon entering Cancer. Okay. So I'm going to go over all of that right now. I'm always try to think, should I show the chart? should I show my chart? I think I am. Hold on. Let me actually grab my chart here. Patience for me, everyone. Okay, so here we go. And if you want to see the chart, I will click the link. I don't know why it does that. If you want to see the chart and you're like, I'm mad I can't see the chart from where I'm listening or viewing this video will be saved and you can see live or, in an unedited version of what the chart looks like, or you can just listen because I will be explaining. You don't have to visually see the chart, but I'm showing the chart on YouTube and on Instagram. You can see it there. Actually, let me get a sip of water. So, okay, so let's talk about what we have this week. And remember, we have this full moon, you guys. Get ready for that. Okay, but first, let's talk about what we had yesterday because that's going to affect us today. So Mercury was squaring Neptune, and Mercury is in the sign Gemini. All the signs go in the sign Gemini and then it enters Cancer. But yesterday, you probably had some illusion stuff, right? You had some deception news, probably news being too open, tension, or maybe socializing. There was some isolation with socializing. There was confusion. There was maybe miscommunication, deception. And now, today, Mercury enters Cancer. Now, when Mercury enters, so you just had this like, why am I confused? And it doesn't hit everyone. It probably most likely hit the mutable signs like the Geminis and what was the squaring? The Pisces. So if you had those, then you were probably really feeling it. Now it enters Cancer, right? What does Mercury entering Cancer mean? First of all, let me just tell you what Mercury. And here's Mercury here. Let me just tell you, first of all, what Mercury represents. Mercury is about our communication. Mercury is the planet of verbal and written communication. It's about our intellect and our mental process, thinking and reasoning. It's about learning, education, early learning. Sagittarius is a different one. Mercury, Jupiter is a different higher learning, but we're talking about the basics of learning something. So if you're learning something new, that is the Mercury planet working with you, right? Now, it's also about our travel and our movement, our day-to-day travel, our everyday travel, short distance travel. So like if you are traveling from LA to San Diego, that could be a Mercury. Now, if it's beyond your world, then we're talking Jupiter. But if it's a daily, like someone who has to travel daily to work, then you're talking about Mercury. So that could represent trains, cars, bicycles, even walking. Okay. Any type of mobility now and movement. And now we also have Mercury representing our technology and gadgets. That's why people freak out when they lose their emails or if they're trying to buy something online. That is the Mercury energy. And so even social media, because Gemini is very social. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So you have that and information data, information systems. All that is included. So Mercury governs data collections, the storage, the emails, the text messages, all those things you process. That is Mercury. Now Mercury also represents commerce and trade. Okay. Now commerce and trade is, stocks, crypto. That is commerce and trade. Okay. Business transactions, marketing dynamics, the economy. Okay. Now it's entering the sign Cancer. And what is the sign Cancer? Cancer is a water sign. First of all, and a water sign is very emotional, it's very intuitive, it's connected to the subconscious mind. And it also has the crab. And the crab, when you look at a Cancer, the crab doesn't really walk straight. It always goes from the side. We're going to connect this later. Now, the ruler of Cancer is the moon, and the moon governs our moods. The moon moves so fast in the sky, and it changes signs almost like 1 point or 2 point something days, like 1 point something days. It's really fast. Okay. And so it's very moody and it's involving emotions. It's involving feminine energy as well and intuitive abilities. So now, the Cancer themes, when you know that, you're going to connect it to Mercury, and I'll do that for you. Don't worry. But I just like to teach, hence the Jupiter and Gemini energy. But when you have Cancer themes, you have emotions, you have sensitivity, there's moodiness, you're dealing with home and family because you're dealing with that mother energy. There's family bonds. It's also about protection and security, which that crab, its home is carried on its back. That is the crab's home, and it's a protected shield. So it likes to have security and protection. There's also the energy of memory and past. all these Cancers energy always are looking back at the past. Okay. If you know a Cancer, they're always nostalgia and love to do nostalgic things. Okay. Ancestry and roots is what Cancer energy. I talked about intuition, but also you have some psychic abilities. There's an energy of empathy. There's also dreams because you have the moon representing your dreams when you sleep, and creativity and imagination. Now, when you have this, the Mercury, this thought process entering this feminine energy of Cancer, reflective energy is going to happen. People are going to be more reflective. They're going to be more sentimental. There's emotional intelligence happening. There's some empathy. People are probably going to have some intuitive insights. There's also a sense of protectionness. When discussing things and dealing with things of the past, and having a great memory and focusing on the past and the memory, and having sentimental reasoning. Okay. There's a strong sense of imagination. Now, when you're talking about traveling, you're probably going to be traveling back home or traveling to things that represent your past, when Mercury enters the sign. And how long does Mercury stay in the sign? Mercury is going to stay in the sign Cancer from June 17th all the way to July 2nd. Okay. And then, so traveling, you're probably going to do some home related errands, going and visit some family and friends, maybe that make you feel safe, or there's emotional connections. A lot of family reunions during Mercury in the sign Cancer, and comfort and familiar travels where you feel safe, where you feel comfortable, maybe preferred routes and places, familiar routes, local favorites, cozy traveling, comfortable settings, home-like atmosphere kind of energies where you'll be traveling. Maybe emotionally intuitive travel based, like based on your mood. Okay, you know what, I feel like being at the water today, and I'm going to be going to the water. That is a Mercury in Cancer. Okay, sentimental journeys, I want to go back, like I said, and visit my past, or a nostalgia trip like we used to go here, let's do that again. That is Mercury in Cancer. Also, there's a sense of focus and checking in with family. That is Mercury in Cancer. Get ready for that. Discussions of security, commerce and trade. When you have Mercury in Cancer, there is a building of trust. You probably will be doing some commerce that you feel trust, that you feel secure in. Customer loyalty kind of energy. Anything dealing with the home, anything dealing with emotional appeal, sentimental value, nostalgic products that makes you think of your past. That's Mercury in Cancer. Yes, what else do we have? Value driven kind of business energy. Any contracts during Mercury in Cancer are going to be regarding security, going to be signing contracts when it comes to family, home maintenance, home improvement, loans and mortgages, home services, real estate. Anyone who's getting real estate, that's a big deal. But that is Mercury in Cancer. You will be probably signing some contracts dealing with that. You could live in an apartment building, and you could be selling a new lease or something with your home and security and safe. Job security also could be signing some contracts with that, because we're dealing with the family and home care services, like who's taking care of your kids, who's nurturing your kids. That could be happening, and there could be some contracts, because Mercury represents the contracts, wills and trust, custody agreements, insurance policies, because that represents our security, and ethical investments. Okay, so you have all that happening. Investments, ethical investments could be happening with Mercury in the sign Cancer. Okay, so emotional communication, very intuitive thinking, focusing on a home and a family, also a very creative energy. You could be overly sensitive, could be very moody. The collective could be doing this, and you could be feeling like, oh my gosh, why are people so sensitive? That is the Mercury in the sign Cancer. Subjective in thinking. Also, there's an avoidance of difficult conversation with Mercury in Cancer, because, like I said, the crab likes to not go straight. It likes to avoid things instead of just hitting it straight on. So that energy happens. I actually hate that. I like to be very direct. My Mercury and Leo. So this is going to be very interesting for me, like it is every year. A lot of mood swings could be happening too. So just be ready for that. Domestic matters too. Discussing domestic matters as a whole and in the news. Get ready to hear all those things. Okay. So, yes, that is what we have with Mercury in the sign Cancer. Quickly, let me tell you what Mercury in the sign Cancer is going to look like in the future while it's in the sign Cancer, so everyone can just know. And if you don't have time to watch a future video, you can know what Mercury in Cancer is going to look like for everyone. So, like at first, once it hits the sign Mercury in Cancer, it starts to conjunct Venus. So there's emotional communication. There's creative expression. People are probably going to be really creative with this energy today, maybe even in a home, because we are dealing with that Cancer energy. Now on the actually, let me change this. As we move to the 21st, also loving your mother, loving your family, loving anything that's very nostalgic, and being creative with that is what you get with that energy. Now, as we move to the 21st, Mercury is going to sextile Mars. Sextiles basically means that you have to do some work. Okay, so you have to put in some work, and the energy is out there. It's got great weather, so what are you going to do with it? And this could be very assertive communication, because Mars is all about the aggression, right? But it's very positive. Not very positive, it's positive. You just have to be assertive with it. So all that talking in circles with the Cancer, this energy is going to let you be more assertive. And there's productive energy, maybe productive energy when it comes to your body and your home. Okay, because Taurus and what you value is what Mars is in right now. Now, as we move along on the 22nd, then Mercury is going to square the nodes. Okay, square is some tension. Be some lessons here, especially when it comes to your karmic challenges. And this square can bring tensions between your current path and your past patterns, because the north and the south node are both squaring. So what about yourself do you need to improve in, and what about your past when it comes to your relationships do you need to release? You need to balance your independence versus your relationships. Okay, so that will be happening 22nd. On the 26th, Mercury is going to trine Saturn. Now, this is very positive, right? At 19 degrees, very positive here, because trine means that it's just going to come. You don't have to do any work. And when Mercury trines Saturn, there is disciplined thinking and there is emotional stability happening. If you really want to get some work done, especially if you're working from home, this is going to be great. Anything dealing with spirituality, anything dealing with your emotions, there's some groundedness happening here and some practicality with it. So I think that this is not, I think this is very positive. That's on the 26th. On the 28th, Mercury is going to square Chiron, and Chiron is the planet of healing. So like there's some healing conversations that you don't want to have, or maybe some new ones, because Chiron's in a sign Aries. And when you have, and they're both cardinal signs. So this is a tension that is new to you and you're like, what the is just going on? Okay. But there's some healing conversations and some emotional sensitivity could be happening that day. And now on the 29th, Mercury is going to sextile Saturn. I mean, no, not sextile, Uranus is going to sextile Uranus. And remember, sextile is it's great energy. However, you have to put in some work. So when it's sextile Uranus, there could be some innovative ideas, something very out of the box happening here, something creative. There is some newfound freedom that could be happening here, unexpected insights. That is also great. And it's also dealing again with the themes of like security, your home, your family, your mother, connected to what you value and your resources. Okay. Now on the 1st of July, then we have Mercury is going to trine Neptune. And again, it's going to do it at 29 degrees, the ending of something, right? Now, trine again, positive, and Neptune again is that spiritual aspect. So intuitive communication, you feel it and you're like, I feel this. Neptune is also very creative, and it's creativity that you actually feel, so that really evokes you. So if you're really creative, go ahead and tap into that day, and it will last for a few days for a lot of us. But there's compassion dialogue happening here too. So great energy. Actually, not that bad what we have with Mercury. I don't think Mercury in Cancer is going to be that bad. We just have a few hiccups with some healing. Okay, a little disillusion happening, some healing, and what we're supposed to be working on in this lifetime. But other than that, it's very great. We're going to get a lot of stuff done. Now, immediately again today, we are having the Mercury is conjunct Venus, and you know there's thinking about mothers, discussions with moms, okay, discussions about your safety, and there's a natural attraction to it. Hanging out with your mom, hanging out with feminine energy, creative thinking with family, romantic conversations at home, mental harmony regarding your safety, discussions about maybe beautifying your home and thinking about beautifying your home, or signing contracts with beautification of the home. Okay. Maybe you are getting a designer and you're signing that contract. This is the energy and it's very positive with it. Now, conjunctions are powerful energy. So they're good and bad. Okay. That's the thing about conjunctions. So emotional communication, harmonious relationships, creative expressions. On the negative side, you have yourself being overly sensitive. Okay. Subjectivity in thinking. You might be biased. You strive to be objective, but at the same time the emotions are heavily involved. Okay. Avoidance of difficult conversations could be happening, especially when it comes to female energy. Get ready with that, with this energy, and that is happening today and a few more days, because you see it's close here, so it's going to be lingering for a few days if you're having this mood swings. I'm a Cancer sun. I'm my family is already used to my mood swings. Okay. It is all about how I feel. I get dressed on how I feel. My routines are how I feel. Okay. So I am definitely a Cancer and I feel it very strong. But now you guys are going to be feeling what I feel constantly. Okay. But thinking like a Cancer, not really addressing things and having the emotion aspects. But now you have Venus attached to it, the planet of harmony and love and what we naturally attract. So if you're feeling like you are not really if you're feeling negative according to feminine energy, I want you to know you're dealing with water energy, so ground yourself. Okay, really take a time to meditate. That will help you. Okay, use this energy to be creative. Do not, if you're overly sensitive, take a breath, take a breather, count to 10, let it go, come back in a week. Okay, you might be avoiding some critical issues. That's fine. There's some sentimental discourse that could be happening. This is all normal under this. Okay, but engage in emotional conversations, nurture some relationships, explore creative outlets, because the Venus energy is very creative. So if you want to paint today, if you're an artist, if you want to do something creative, this is it. Okay, especially when it comes to your home. This is the energy of it. Now, June 19th, we are going to have the moon entering the sign Sagittarius. And the moon is about our emotions and how we are at home, what we are naturally, our natural instincts. And it's in the sign Sagittarius. So people are going to want some freedom. They want to be adventurous. You maybe want to explore things. You're feeling very philosophical. There's optimism and positivity, intellectual growth. Yes, a major thing of independence. Okay. Also passion. Sagittarius energy makes you very passionate about things. On the negative side, try not to do too much. Okay. Try not to overdo or over promise and feel like you can do it all. That is that Sagittarius energy, and it makes you very restless. It makes you overconfident. Could make you very blunt with your honesty, and make you feel like you want to be brutally honest. Very Sagittarius energy, and it's also very inconsistent. Okay. The moon is already inconsistent, but the Sagittarius energy is just like a butterfly. It's just like bouncing everywhere. So be aware of that emotionally, what you have. Now, let me see what else we have. Now, on the 20th of June, the sun is going to square Neptune. Now, what you see here, if you can see, it's fine if you cannot see, is that the sun, when it exits Gemini, it's going to square Neptune and then will enter Cancer. All of these signs, we already did it with Venus, we did it with Mercury, and now we're doing it with the sun. Okay. So when you have the sun squaring Neptune, there is confused. Neptune is the confusion. I said that earlier, right? The sun is our ego. Okay. And I'll describe the sun more as we get into sun, entering the sun Cancer. But there is confusion with the ego, right? There is a lack of direction. There's blurred self-image and not setting boundaries, right? So there's confusion, there's mental fog, there's challenges, but be extra cautious when it comes to communicating with this energy, and try not to fall into a romance of any sorts, because there is this rose-colored lens when you have this Pisces. It makes everything kind of like, ooh, it's nice and pink. So be aware of that. Also, escapism. I would not do any drugs this day, or maybe this week. With this energy, because it can make you want to over escape. And I'm not just talking about any drugs. Also, you can deal with binge eating. What do you do to escape? Be careful of the escapism energy, because it's like you want to avoid reality, and you want to stay grounded. Okay. Yes, but there could be misinformation that's be spreading, public deception, and avoidance of reality. So engage in, again, creative activities. Whenever you're dealing with water energy, because Neptune's in the sign Pisces, you want to be very creative. Okay. Explore spiritual practices. Go ahead and tap into the tarot readings. Pray to God. Read the Bible. Whatever is your religious belief, you want to do that on the 20th. Okay. It's going to last a few days, but stay grounded. Be focused. Verify any information you get on the 20th, because that Neptune squaring the sun is going to give you some misinformation, because Gemini is the planet of information and communication. Someone is going to tell you some deceptive news. Okay. So verify the information. Don't just jump into the conclusions, because Gemini will be moving fast. Be aware of that, and address avoidance of behaviors. Face issues directly and seek practical solutions. Okay. Now, that is what you get. Now, immediately after that, the sun enters Cancer. And let me take another sip of water before I tell you what happens this Cancer season. Hold on. Okay, so during Cancer season, first of all, the sun themes are, the sun represents our identity, it represents our self expression, it represents our energy, our vitality, our motivation. It is a huge Mars. Okay, Mars, I feel like it's a tiny sun if you know anything about astrology, but the sun represents our purpose and our goals, our aspiration, the ego. Like I said earlier, it's our confidence, it represents father figures and leadership, influence, and our pride and recognition. Right now, when you have the sun changing zodiac signs, then it shifts to focus. What is our ego want to focus on? What is our motivation as a collective? It changes our energy, and it promotes, because it's going to enter the sign Cancer, it's going to promote feelings, and it's going to promote relationships, regarding your home and your mom, our feminine energy and our intuition. And also, there's a mood shift anytime the sun changes the zodiac sign, but it's really going to change because we're entering the sign Cancer. So there's going to be, as a collective and individually, an emotional awareness, an increase of sensitivity. You guys are really going to be feeling what other people are feeling. Welcome to my world of Cancer. Okay. There's going to be a sense of focusing on home and family, focusing on domestic energy, focusing on your mother, focusing on your roots, focusing on your ancestry. Okay. Nurturing and care. Ooh, it makes me think of Juneteenth. Juneteenth sometimes tithers on that. If you know anything about Juneteenth, it's about the past of when slaves were emancipated, but it makes sense how it's on the cusp of Gemini and Cancer. Right, Gemini wants its freedom and to be social, and now Juneteenth is a huge social event, and it's in the sun, which also represents summer solstice, which is the longest day of the sun, the longest day that the sun is out. The longest time that the sun is out is summer solstice, is what I'm trying to say. But also, there is a sense of our roots. If I say "our" because I am African American, so that is what you have for Juneteenth. But anyway, overly sensitive. There could be mood swings. There is clinginess and dependency, because the Cancer energy is very dependent. Okay, it is very clingy, and there is a retreating of the shell. So people might be avoiding things and going back home and saying, "I don't want to address this." So be aware of that when the sun enters Cancer. But there is a strong sense of empathy. There's a strong sense of looking into your ancestry and your roots and your past and history and nostalgic energy. Home improvements, big. Okay. Yes, what else do we have? Sentimental energy with the public, mood fluctuations within society too. Yeah, so engage in emotional conversations. Remember to nurture your relationships, especially when it comes to your family. Explore creative outlets, because you're dealing with that water energy. It likes to be creative and emotional. Okay, now if I talk about the sun aspects, if I can quickly do that so you can know what is going to happen with the sun in Cancer. Now we have the full moon. Once it hits the sun enters Cancer season. Okay, there is going to be a full moon, and that's on first. And there's this emotional balance between seriousness and work and your home that could be happening, or the structure versus the feelings and the emotions that could be happening on the second. Let's see. Wait, I have my dates wrong. Let me see. Oh, okay. So the sun all the way until July 2nd, we're not going to have any issues with the sun. You may, because it depends on your degrees in your personal chart. But as a collective, when the sun enters July 2nd, then it's going to square the nodes. And remember, the nodes is about where you need to go in this lifetime and what you need to release. So there's karmic challenges, and it's going to be tensions of you versus relationships. Okay, the self versus harmony and balance. Now on the 5th, which is my birthday, July 5th, there's going to be a Cancer new moon, so there's new beginnings. This is a time to manifest maybe some personal goals when it comes to nurturing our family or your mom, our feminine energy. All that manifestation is happening July 5th. I will actually do it the day before. I don't have the time of a new moon, but always do it the day before to manifest some new beginnings. Now on the 11th of July, the sun will be trying Saturn, and Saturn will be retrograding. Saturn is sign Pisces. Very positive. There's emotional stability. You're going to be solidifying some goals. You're going to be probably seeking advice between for some mentors, some older mentors, because Saturn represents the older or fatherly figures. Work on projects that require some patience and perseverance. That is great energy for that day, or even that week. On the 15th of July, the sun will be squaring Chiron. So this is some healing happening, healing opportunities, okay? Maybe healing practices, maybe seeking support from a loved one. Some old wounds are going to be brought up. Chiron is in the sign Aries, so it's representing some new beginnings. They're both cardinal signs. So yeah, so something new that's representing some woundedness that's from your past is going to be brought up. Okay. On the 18th of July, we have the sun is going to sextile Uranus, and the sun sextiling Uranus is going to be innovative changes, and maybe try some new approaches to some old problems that will really work, or maybe embrace some technology that day, some new advancements. I love technology, so I'm definitely excited about that. Now, sextiles means you have to do the work. The weather is great, but are you going to go out there and plant the seed? That's basically what that means. Okay. Also on the 21st of July, and this ends our sun and Cancer aspects, but the sun basically ends in a bang, in a very positive way. The sun is going to trine again Neptune, and when it trines Neptune, spiritual insights, okay, intuition, there's spiritual awareness on the 29th of no on the 21st of July. It's a time for deep emotional connections. Explore the inner world, discuss things with your mom, discuss stuff with your roots or your ancestry, or where you feel safe. Really feel the energy of it. Maybe go back to your homeland, okay? Where you feel safe. Engage in creative spiritual practice. This is a time to meditate, a time to get a tarot reading, connect with your dreams. Any type of intuition and guidance is great with this energy on the 21st, okay? So that is what we have. Also on the 21st of June, that was July 21st, but now we're going to go back to the 21st of June, because that was everything I had to discuss with the sun entering Cancer. But Mercury is going to sextile Mars. Okay, Mercury sextiling Mars again. Sextilis, it's positive. However, you have to do the work. It's not just going to land on your lap. But when Mercury, the planet of how you think and how you process information and commerce, when it's going to work great with aggression, the planet of aggression and doing and getting stuff, and how you achieve things in a sign of Taurus, there's intuition supporting your action and your drive. Okay. So on the 21st, you may naturally think of like, wow, why is my intuition telling me how to pursue some money? Okay. this is going to work for you that day, okay? But you have to actually get up and do it, or actually really want to think about it, or maybe meditate for that intuition to tap in. You're able to achieve something that deals with safety, empathy, and it's going to work with you obtaining your values, because Mercury in the sign Cancer is going to give you the empathy of feeling sorry for someone. And maybe while you're feeling sorry for someone and having that empathy, you see, like, wait a minute, this is a way that I can get something that I value. And it's not in a shady way, but it's very positive. Quick thinking energy, there's mental stamina, there's active learning, there's a persuasive energy of skills, like persuading someone, okay, and having the skills to do it. That is all happening on the 21st. Motivated action, problem solving. What else do we have? Teamwork could be happening here. Strategic initiatives, not initiations. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about the full moon. Okay, so now we have the sun in Cancer, and we have the full moon. It's actually going to be, let me scooch it over, this full moon, and really show you. It's going to be in 1 degree. I actually did not look at the Sabian symbol of what 1 degree in Capricorn looks like. Should I grab that book? Let me grab the book. Hold on. Let me see. Is it here? Yes. Apologies. Let me tell you what about this full moon and what it's going to look like for us this week. First of all, I'm drinking water. I just want to tell you, first of all, anytime we have any full moon, I always have to say this because I always think of what if someone doesn't know anything about astrology. Okay. Anytime we have a full moon, charge your crystals. Okay. Pull them out, okay? Pull them out, or you can take a bowl of water or a jar of water, put it out in the moon with the full moon, and put your crystals in there. Not all crystals can go in the water, by the way. Anyway, so Google that, depending on what crystal you have. So that's the first thing you want to do, okay? Because the crystals, they bring some energy, okay? I have some crystal bracelets here, rose quartz, and they actually need some charging here, but always positive energy. Okay, anyway, the full moon is the peak of the energy. It is the climax of the lunar cycle. Okay. So anytime you have the full moon, there is going to be some clarity. There's some insight that's happening because the emotions are like, oh, it's like bottled up, and now it's time to release it. And it's causing you to wake up. So this full moon, any full moon, is going to highlight whatever hidden aspects in our lives that needs to be revealed, and there needs to be some truths revealed. This is the aha moment. We don't like it, but guess what? We need it. Okay. It's about releasing and letting go. Anytime there's a full moon, there's imbalance of the ego and your emotions, because the sun is on one side and the moon is on the complete opposite. All right. So there's always this seesaw energy and the ego versus emotions. Also, you have the masculine versus the feminine. It's your father arguing with your mother. Okay. That could be happening. Disagreements between the two are masculine energy. Doesn't have to be female, doesn't have to be a physical masculine, but someone who's a go-getter and who's very out there and extroverted versus the passive and introverted energy. Not that feminine energy is passive, but more subjective. Objective versus subjective can lead to indecisiveness and lack of action. Whenever there is a full moon, there's an energy of forgiveness and releasing and letting go and having emotional release anytime there is a full moon. Okay. Now let me see if I can look up Capricorn in 1 degree, because that is what we have with the Sabian symbol in the book that I'm using. Just so you know, the Sabian symbols. Can you see that? Okay. So I'm looking up, actually not going to look up 1. I'm actually going to look up Capricorn 2 because it's 1 degree and something. So we round up. Let me see. Yes, we round up. So Capricorn 2, 3 stained glass windows, 1 damaged by bombardment. Keyword, commemoration. Okay, here we go. Reverence. This symbol speaks to those objects and structures that commemorate the most meaningful experience of our lives, and to the need to safeguard and protect those monuments from careless or superficial destruction by those who have no appreciation or understanding for the higher values. Ooh, we need to commemorate. We need to think about the structures of the past. Okay, the image of three stained glass windows, one damaged by bombardment. I don't know if I'm saying that word right, so I apologize. Bombardment is one of the reverse or negative symbols. It alludes to strength and durability or survival. Okay, let me see what we have. Um, the ancient is on stark reminders of painful periods of life that you have survived. Well, let me see what we have for risk. Guard against placing your values in things rather than in what they represent. Again, guard against placing your values in things rather than in what they represent. Stepping stones, assaults on values, survival, endurance, and significance, memorial. Again, things that are representing the past and really having importance of the past and thinking about what you need to value. What else we have? Let's see how this goes. Also, remember that experience can never be destroyed. Your greatest advantage lies in protecting what you value from attack or loss. Your greatest advantage lies in protecting what you value from attack or loss. Ooh, protect what you value. And remember that experience can never be destroyed. I like that. That's almost like a scripture. I'm sure that's in the Bible somewhere. But that is what we have for the Sabian of 1 degree. 1 degree also represents the Aries degree. That is something new. It does represents war and conflict. Okay, but new beginnings are also like a competitive or like the self. Okay, so that is what we have for as degrees. Now, if you want to know about any full moon in Capricorn, you're going to have achievement and ambition. There's a sense of responsibility, and there is this theme could be brought up during this full moon. Okay, practicality and discipline, emotional resilience. Okay, a collective responsibility. There's issues with leaderships and authority and father figures and the government or people who wear uniforms. Hold on one second. I have to do this every time with the TikTok. Okay. What else? There's challenges with the work life because you have the sun, the Capricorn representing work and your public image, and the sun is in the home, and the moon is in the public image. There's rigid thinking. There's limited emotions here, far as when it comes to emotions. Emotional suppression is great. Rigid thinking and flexibility. During this full moon in Capricorn, you could set some goals. You can organize some tasks, strengthen your foundations, build stabilities, have a solid planning. Think about your profession and review your profession, right? Or productivity and get organized. Think of long-term vision. And we're dealing with emotions, but all this will help you. Now, I am going to do a video for as like my membership, just so you know, on everything. Anytime we have a full moon in Capricorn, I'm doing the rituals. I'm talking about the crystals. I'm talking about rituals you can do during a full moon. I have the other full moons up, so if you want to know about that, then you can check out the membership. And remember, it's only $4.99 a month. Now, let's talk about aspect with this full moon, right? So here we have the full moon in the sign Cancer. No, the full moon is in the sign Capricorn. But I always want to look at what is this ruler of the Capricorn doing. And here is Saturn. It's not sitting too close to Neptune. I'm trying to see. The Saturn looks like he's fine. He is in the sign Pisces, so we are dealing with emotions here, and that depending on your chart, that's going to affect you even big when it comes to your emotions. But could be something that you cannot see when you have the Saturn in Pisces. I'm also seeing that it could slightly be squaring some surprises here when it comes to your resources. That could be happening as well. Now, but it's definitely, this full moon is definitely going to square Neptune, not Saturn. The full moon is definitely squaring Neptune. And when it squares Neptune, you're going to be feeling sensitive. Okay. And this square is dealing in things that could be kind of new, but there could be some scams. There's emotional energy of being emotionally overwhelmed. There's and confusion, especially when expressing your feelings with this full moon in Capricorn. You can have uncertainty with the full moon in Capricorn. Again, deceptions and illusions. You may be feeling empathetic, so you won't be judging others. However, you will be suffering from some mood swings. You need to find an appropriate outlet. This is all about being grounded and having some spiritual outlets, healing modalities, maybe look into angels, some esoteric kind of things, just to bring you comfort. Now, also, this full moon is going to be opposing Venus. So, the full moon in your emotions, you're not getting along with female energy, you're not into socializing, there's some conflict or tension there, and you can't see eye to eye with Venus, or when it comes to being balanced. Okay, maybe being balanced with the home. There is an issue with not attracting this naturally, and yes, so you have that, and then also is slightly opposing Mercury, right? So there's struggle with making decisions, whether to follow your feelings or thoughts or your heart over your head. That could be the thing. But conflict of what you need versus what others need is also what you have with this opposing Venus. Okay, or maybe uncomfortable social situations. If you are out, I'm trying to see, this full moon is just interesting. Anyway, yeah, but the full moon opposing social, it makes me think, because I have a party that my daughter wants me to go to, and this energy, I'm going to look at my chart and see. Yeah, anyway, but yeah, so if you're at a social event and there's something uncomfortable, that is because you have that full moon happening, and the moon is opposing the party, the planet of partying. And I'm just seeing that just now. Anyway, as an astrologer, I don't always look at the chart when I'm doing things. I actually do just live a normal life. I used to, when I first learned astrology, used to go really hard and say, oh my gosh, I can't do this according to the astrological weather, someone's going to die this day. It was really fear mongering, and I don't do that anymore. I just go off of my how I feel, of course. The Cancer in me. I go off of how I feel, and I act accordingly. But when you know the weather, you just know the weather, and yeah, you just let things go. Now, let's talk about the 22nd. We talked about the full moon. I hope you guys understood it all. And now let's talk about what we have June 22nd. On June 22nd, Mercury is going to square the nodes. And there is sensitivity. If you don't know the nodes, first of all, there is a north node here, and there is a south node. And the north node is what we're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. And it's in the sign Aries. So this year, while the nodes are in Aries, while the north node is in Aries, we're supposed to be pursuing the self. Okay. And we need to release these relationships. These past relationships are things that are not bringing balance and harmony in our life, this passive aggressive energy, or, the aesthetics, and really getting into the boldness of things. Okay. And when you have the squaring, you have tension. Mercury, again, communication. So tension with communication. There's conflict, probably with some miscommunication when it comes to things that we need to achieve and let go. There could be emotional conflicts, resistance to change. There could be some stagnation, and it causes some tension. Okay, so be aware of that on that day. And on the 23rd, the moon will be entering Aquarius, and that's how we're ending this week. Moon entering Aquarius is very innovative. It's very original. Aquarius doesn't like emotion, so it's like, why am I in this planet? So you got a lot of detachment, okay? But you do have some originality. You have this sense of wanting to be free and have your independence. Very social energy, whereas when it comes to emotions, but there is an aloofness, there's unpredictability, there's a sense of rebelliousness too, okay? Yeah, maybe even people rebelling at home. You get that with the Aquarius moon, okay? So next week, Next week, we have Saturn will be retrograding. Next week is kind of like a blah week. It's not going to be that big. I will be talking about some current events and connecting it to astrology. And then we will definitely be doing tarot. And maybe I'll even really go deep into the horoscopes more next week, because since next week is not that interesting, but we still have some stuff. We have Mercury that will be entering Leo, and Neptune will be retrograding. That will be a little bit on the next week. So next week I could probably be more detailed with the horoscopes. So let me talk about some horoscopes real quick. We're going to start with Aries, and I'm going to talk about the full moon. And then next week I'll talk about the sun and Mercury and all that stuff. Also have some cards here. What time is it? Ooh. I also have some cards here that I'm going to do, and then I have to hurry up. Hold on one second before I sorry about that. Okay, so let's do the horoscopes. Okay, so I have to wake up my daughter. I had to wake up my daughter because we have Girl Scouts. This is the last hurrah before summer happens for me. So I'm like excited to end this Girl Scout project. Anyway, so let's talk about Aries. And I have my tarot card here. I have the Mahogany Tarot. Try not to drop it. I have the Mahogany Tarot deck. That is what we'll be using for the tarot of the week. And we're going to start with Aries. And before I do each sign, I do suggest you listen to your sun sign, because your sun sign is what you are going to achieve. It's the physical achieving of things. And your rising sign is going to be best personalizing to you. So your rising sign. So if you don't know your rising sign, go ahead and check your sun sign. Also your moon sign, because your moon sign is dealing with your emotions, and we're dealing with this full moon. So I would look at your moon sign too. Okay, so get all three and watch how it all connects for you personally. Okay, all right, so let's first start with Aries. And Aries, let me look at the chart here. The full moon is on the 21st. Okay, and I'm going to Aries. Hold on one second, please. No, I'm going to go back. 1 second. Looking at the chart and looking at what we're dealing with. Okay, so we have so the moon is going to be in your 10th house, and the sun is in your 4th house. Okay, and the moon in your 10th house is going to highlight some issues, Aries, with not issues in a bad way, but dealing with your career, bringing attention to your professional life. Aries, you are literally embodying everything I discussed when it comes to the full moon in Capricorn. Your ambitions versus your home life. Maybe you have to reflect or release something that's dealing with your professional life. Okay, let me see. Or maybe you have a professional burnout. Let's see what we have here, Aries. Oh, yes, it is. You have to mentally rest. These swords represent resting. And no, the swords represent socializing and thinking and processing information. And you need to take a time out and rest, okay? Maybe even rest from gossip. Let me see the Mercury, gossip at home or talking at home. Do not argue during this full moon, okay? That is what we have for you guys. I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, Taurus, we have the full moon that is going to happen in your 9th house, and the sun is in your 3rd house. So this is about higher learning or learning and traveling. You have the higher learning versus the basic learning for you guys, Taurus, and the full moon can highlight travel as well, day-to-day travel. Like, should I be traveling long distance or should I be traveling short distance? My community versus, the bigger world, embracing opportunities to learn and expand, reflect on your beliefs and how they shape your worldwide. Also, this could be dealing with philosophy. This could be dealing with publishing, writing. Are you writing something or publishing it out in the world? Okay. The emotions are going to affect those things. Let me see what we have far as It's positive for you guys. Taurus babies. This is Aquarius energy. It's all about faith and your future and thinking about your future, thinking about the long term, especially with the Capricorn energy. Yeah, I'm thinking it's about your hopes and dreams and having faith and thinking about your future. She is not dressed, so be honest and vulnerable with this energy. Okay, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Geminis, we have the full moon is going to be in your eighth house and the sun is in your second house. So it's all about finances and resources for you and what you value. Now emotionally, this could be dealing with some shared resources or like transformation or something dealing with psychology, something that's very taboo and it's in the dark. On the full moon, is going to bring financial matters to the light, deep emotional transformation. Do you have some investments? Do you have some debts? When it comes to intimate relationships or sharing it with someone. Be honest about your financial situation. Be honest about anything that's very mysterious. This could be coming to the light, okay? And affecting what you truly value. Yeah, this also be dealing with some power and thinking in a lack. Finances is huge here with you guys. So this is the energy of thinking in a lack. And I want you, this card represents, let me tell you the card. It is the Five of Pentacles. Pentacles represents money and your resources, tangible items, okay? And it's in the thought of lack. And this card is that they're out in the cold and they're really standing outside the church and they're not thinking that there's actual support inside the church. So you need to change your focus on what you don't have and what you do have. There may be a big issue on finances for you with this full moon. Remember, this is a climax. This is where it's like, and it's a strong energy, but it will release, okay? Nothing is permanent and money is very transactional, okay? Okay, let me see. Oh, hold on. I'm thinking that my live went off. That was annoying. My live went off on Instagram. Okay, anyway. Okay, so back to the people who are here. Sorry. Okay, so let's get into Cancers. Cancer, your full moon is in the seventh house, and this is all about relationships versus the self, okay? Partnerships versus who you are. Maybe there's a communication with partners. This could be a business partner, okay? This could be a loved one. This could be a relationship, okay, Cancers? But yes, there's something dealing with relationships, and we have that you are researching, you're expanding. I wonder if you're researching new relationships, but you're like, the world is bigger than what's going on, and you are learning that. Not saying that you're going to leave your loved one, but you're realizing that maybe the problems are just petty, but the world is at your fingertips. This is someone who's about to begin the journey, but they're doing the research, okay? That is what we have for you. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Leo, sixth house and 12th house. So the moon is in your sixth house. And when you have the moon in your sixth house, this is all about fun. No, it's not. I always think the sixth house is so boring. Okay. It's about health. Okay. Very serious matter. I shouldn't be laughing, but your daily routines and your work environment, maybe even dealing with the employees. Yeah. And it's opposing this energy of the self and solitude. Okay. Do you want to be by yourself? The sun is in the 12th house, so it is going to be by yourself. Venus is in the 12th house, so you're really about thinking about being alone and not really hanging out with people. But you still have this work and health energy going on. This is someone who's giving. You're going to be very giving, especially when it comes to tangible items with this full moon. It is in a sign Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign. Earth sign is about tangible things. So you're going to be giving to some people. Maybe you're giving to people at work. Maybe you're giving to something that deals with your health. But you are giving to others. Oh, this house also represents a service energy. So you will be giving service to someone, and it will be a tangible energy. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Virgo, the moon will be in your fifth house, and it's going to illuminate creative projects, some hobbies, maybe a romantic life, maybe something with children. You'll experience a peak in inspiration. Maybe someone inspires you with a loved one. Yeah, but there's emotions there. Okay, some passions, Virgos. Let's see. And then the sun is in that 11th house of big groups, and not really the self, but dealing with a big group. And you have this tug of war with that. Okay. But there's travel and there's some movement for you. There's progression happening with this full moon. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, if it's really tugging at you emotionally, don't worry. It's going to be moving fast. It's going to be gone fast, and you will be traveling fast. Okay. Maybe you are going to be traveling to a new place. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, wait, hold on. I pressed the wrong button here. Okay. Let's do my Libras. Libras, the moon is going to be in your fourth house, and the fourth house is dealing with the home. It's very Cancer energy. It's almost like you're in reverse, right? So the moon is dealing with Cancer energy, dealing with your home. So everything I discussed in the main video, you will be dealing with, because it's a home versus your reputation. But there is going to be something with your personal life, something dealing with your domestic life, something dealing with your safety, something dealing with your heritage, something dealing with your past, and it's conflicting this reputation you have going on. And we have the Emperor, and it's all about being a boss for you. Don't let the emotions take you in, because you need to set the boundary. You need to be the leader. You are the boss. That is very Aries energy. So focus on yourself as well, not in a selfish way, but in a way of self-love. All right. I will see you guys next time. Oh, Libras, you do need that. Bye. Okay, Scorpios, the moon is in your third house. That full moon is going to put a spotlight on communication, maybe with your siblings, maybe something with beginning of learning, your immediate environment, your community. Yeah, and it's going to be tugging at the big world and philosophy, and maybe writing and publishing. You need to walk away what no longer serves you. Walk away. The emotions are going to be big, and you need to release them and walk away with what no longer emotionally serves you. Okay, eclipse it out of your life, cut it out of your life. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Sagittarius, the moon is going to be in your second house. And why isn't this thing not moving up? Hold on. Okay. The moon is going to be in your second house, Sagittarius. And second house is about your finances and your resources and your self-worth. You may also could be dealing with the voice, but you may be reassessing your values, okay? Versus like what people you share their worth with. We have the Emperor. It's all about yourself. Focus on yourself, because it is also Aries is going to set some boundaries, some structure. It is the boss. So emotionally, you'll be feeling one way, but when it comes to your resources, you need to emotionally be strong and be courageous. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay. Again, what is going on? I'm pressing the wrong buttons because now I know I have to rush. Okay. Capricorns. The moon is going to be in your first house, because we are dealing with the Capricorn moon. This is all about yourself and bringing attention to your personality and your identity and your goals and your appearance, and a time for self-reflection and personal growth. You are going against relationships here, and there's some conflict with yourself and others, okay, or a conflict with yourself versus a business partner. And don't think in lack, like you are not enough. You are more than enough, okay? You need to think that God created you like you created the sun and the moon, okay? You need to keep shining and keep illuminating the sky and the universe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, now I have my Aquarius. Now, the full moon is going to be your 12th house, very emotional house. This is a house of endings or secrets. Yeah, okay. Or like there's like a spirituality or a subconscious energy here. There is a strong sense about your spiritual life and your subconscious mind, or hidden aspects of yourself, maybe introspection and spirituality. Focus on that. Think about things that are not tangible and really tap into it. Great time for meditation or tapping into your dreams. Could be very emotional and could be feeling like a sense of insecurity with you, Pisces, with this full moon in Capricorn. It's okay. Let's see what we have for advice. Reflect on your achievements and set new personal goals. No, that's not it. Meditate, journal, do spiritual practices, look at your dreams, analyze your dreams, reflect on your inner or subconscious fear. It does represent fear. We have the Lover's card for you. So think in balance. Also know that you have a lot of choices. Do not think in lack. The Lover's card represents Gemini. Gemini has multitude of choices. Gemini has all the options. So Know that you have multitude of options, especially when it comes to things long term. Okay, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Pisces, the full moon is going to be your 11th house, and that's about relationships and friendships and community, your community, networks and groups, future technology. So you're going to be focused on that. Maybe social networks. Maybe there's some like network involvement. You may develop a group project or a social cause. This also is about humanitarian, but it's going against like yourself and like you wanting to express yourself and have fun. Practice everything in moderation. Don't do too much. Also, there is a sense of healing with this full moon. That is the temperance card. But be very optimistic. Know that you have faith. Know that you have God. You want to tap into your spiritual beliefs too with that. But there is healing. There is a sense of practicing everything in moderation. Do not do too much. Do not hang out with your friends too much. Do not be too selfish. Have a healthy balance between the two. Okay. Yes, I hope I hope you understood and everything. You understood everything and you enjoyed everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for saying I'm so sorry that I'm rushing. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comment box. I will answer them. If you want a question, a reading, I will answer them in your. If you put them in a comment box, I will answer your questions and pull a card for you if you have a one-on-one reading you want answered. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.